Everybody knew James Brooks.
What happened?
Child, leave the past alone.
Why?
History has a dark secret. My father did it.
Darkness, the roar of the Atlantic Ocean. A lighthouse beam sweeps across crashing waves. Again, again, again. An elderly voice speaks, calm, weathered, wise.
A community doesn't die when money leaves. It dies when people forget what they're capable of building.
Greyhaven, a historic Black waterfront community on the Atlantic coast. Old brick buildings, faded murals, closed seafood markets, boarded storefronts, rusting fishing boats. The neighborhood carries a feeling of something that used to thrive, something important, something forgotten. Older residents still call one section Brooks Harbor. Most young people don't know why. Morning, 5:45 a.m. Maya Brooks kneels beside her bed, 33 years old. Gentle face, hands folded, eyes closed. The same prayer she has prayed for years.
Lord, provide what I need. Lord, protect my family. Lord, make a way. Amen.
The prayer ends. The routine begins. Coffee, bus, church office, home, sleep, repeat. Every day, nearly identical. Community church.
The outreach brochure.
Thank you, dear. This looks helpful.
You're welcome. Now I'll help the family. Bless you.
Hi, we're interested in the youth program.
Of course, let me show you.
Maya is beloved. She organizes food drives, coordinates youth programs, visits elderly members, helps struggling families. Everyone knows Maya. Everyone respects Maya. Nobody follows Maya. Nobody sees her as a builder. She is dependable, not influential. And Maya secretly believes that is humility.
I do so much. I'm dependable. I'm always there, but I'm not influential. And maybe that's what humility is supposed to look like.
Maya sits outside eating lunch, reading a book. The title? Small Business Foundations. A shadow appears. Isaiah Carter. Tall, athletic, sharp, observant. He sits across from her.
You planning to start a business?
No,
Then why are you reading it?
just curious.
You know curiosity usually leads somewhere.
Maybe.
You ever notice something?
What?
Most people pray for opportunities. They spend the rest of their lives avoiding them.
Maya immediately dislikes the comment. It feels arrogant and uncomfortably accurate. That evening, Maya visits her mother, Ruth Brooks, retired teacher, widowed, deeply respected throughout Greyhaven. Ruth's memory has begun slipping. Nothing severe, not yet. Small things, names, dates, appointments. Maya prepares dinner. Suddenly, Ruth speaks.
You know your grandfather would have hated seeing Brooks Harbor like this.
My grandfather?
He built half this neighborhood.
What are you talking about?
What?
You just said Grandpa built Brooks Harbor.
I don't remember saying that.
Later that night. Unable to sleep, Maya climbs into the attic. Dust everywhere. Old boxes, photo albums, forgotten furniture. Then she notices a wooden chest, covered with decades of dust. A brass nameplate. James Brooks, her grandfather. She stares. Nobody ever talks about him. Nobody. 2 weeks later, church board meeting.
Attendance is down, donations are down, funding is down. This is serious. We can't sustain it.
Staff cuts are coming. We have to decide.
Cuts will hurt our community.
We must find alternatives.
Staff cuts are coming. Maya isn't worried. She has worked here 8 years. Everyone loves her. She's indispensable. Or so she thinks. 3 days later, a letter. Position eliminated. Effective immediately.
No, this can't be happening. Why? Why me? I don't understand. I gave everything. It doesn't make sense. Why eliminate me now?
The world goes silent. 8 years. Gone. That evening, Maya walks to the harbor, watching fishing boats return, one after another. Men unloading seafood, families greeting loved ones, children running along the docks. Life moving. Everyone moving. Except her. She sits alone on a weathered bench. A man appears beside her. Elijah Walker. White beard, dark skin weathered by decades of ocean wind. Quiet strength. He carries an old lantern, though the sun hasn't set. Without speaking, he opens a notebook. Its pages are yellow with age. He turns it toward Maya. Proverbs 14:23. In all labor there is profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. Maya reads it, then looks up.
That's not exactly comforting.
Your grandfather carried that verse every day.
You knew my grandfather?
Everybody knew James Brooks.
He taught people how to own. Your grandfather believed poverty wasn't only about money. He believed poverty could settle in a person's thinking. He believed it could live in families, in neighborhoods.
In generations. The words hit harder than she expects.
That verse built Brooks Harbor.
What happened to it?
Some people got rich, and everybody else forgot.
He closes the notebook, stands, and walks away, leaving Maya alone, holding the weight of a question she never knew to ask. 3 days pass. Maya cannot stop thinking about Elijah's words.
That verse built Brooks Harbor.
The sentence keeps replaying in her mind. How could a Bible verse build an entire community? How could a man nobody talks about have built half the neighborhood? And why has nobody ever told her? The questions refuse to leave. So Maya does something she hasn't done in years. She starts digging. Brooks' house attic. The old chest sits in front of her. For decades, it remained untouched. Now, it feels like buried treasure. Or buried truth. She opens it. Photographs, letters, ledgers, maps, property deeds, newspaper clippings. Then, a leather journal, embossed in gold. James Brooks, her grandfather. Her hands tremble. She opens the first page. A handwritten note. If you're reading this, somebody finally started asking questions. Maya freezes. For a moment, it feels like he's speaking directly to her. Across 40 years. Night after night, Maya reads. Page after page. She discovers a completely different version of Greyhaven. A version nobody ever talks about. A version that once thrived. The journal describes Black-owned seafood companies, Black-owned shipping businesses, Black-owned repair shops, Black-owned warehouses, Black-owned trucking fleets, hundreds of jobs, families becoming homeowners, children going to college, businesses passing from one generation to the next. Brooks Harbor wasn't just surviving, it was flourishing. And at the center of it all, James Brooks. Another entry. Maya reads aloud.
Ownership changes how a man stands. Ownership changes how a woman dreams. Ownership changes how children see the future.
She stops reading, thinking, because she's realizing something. Nobody in her generation talks about ownership. People talk about jobs. People talk about bills. People talk about surviving. But ownership? Almost never. The next day, Community Archive Center. Maya begins searching city records. Most documents confirm her grandfather's story. Then, she notices something strange. Very strange. The records suddenly stop. Completely. One year, everything exists. The next year, nothing. No cooperative, no businesses, no ownership records, no transactions. Gone. As if someone erased history. The archive clerk notices her confusion. An elderly black woman. Miss Evelyn. She lowers her voice.
You looking into James Brooks?
You knew him?
Everybody knew James Brooks.
The same words Elijah used.
What happened?
Depends who you ask.
Officially.
Businesses failed.
And unofficially?
Some people got rich.
Maya's stomach tightens. The exact words Elijah said. That night, Maya can't sleep. Rain taps against her window. The city glows beneath streetlights. She opens the journal again. Then she sees a name, repeated dozens of times. Victor Bennett. Actually, Victor Bennett's father, Samuel Bennett, the founder of the Bennett Empire. Maya immediately recognizes the name. Every school in Grey Haven bears it. Every scholarship, every hospital wing, every community center. The Bennetts are royalty here. The following week, Maya begins interviewing older residents, retired fishermen, former business owners, church elders, community leaders. Most refuse to talk. Some become nervous. Others suddenly end conversations. One elderly man finally says,
Child, leave the past alone.
Why?
Because some people built their future on what was stolen.
Then he walks away. Maya starts noticing something unsettling. She's being watched. At first it feels paranoid. A car parked outside too long. A stranger at the coffee shop. Someone standing across the street. Always different people. Always watching. Never approaching. One evening she hears a knock. Isaiah Carter, standing outside. He looks concerned.
Gotta stop
Stop what?
this investigation
Why?
because you're attracting attention.
What kind of attention?
No answer. The silence says enough. Maya's suspicion grows. She starts connecting dots. Isaiah knew too much. Isaiah appeared too often. Isaiah always seemed one step ahead. Could he be connected? The possibility won't leave her mind. One morning, Maya finds her mother staring out the window.
The fire. What fire? The warehouse fire. What warehouse? The one that wasn't an accident. What happened? The ledger survived. He hid it. Who? Elijah.
Maya freezes. Then the moment disappears. Ruth becomes confused again, the clarity gone. But Maya has enough.
Fire. Warehouse. Ledger. Elijah.
4 clues, 1 mystery. The old warehouse. The building sits abandoned at the edge of Brooks Harbor, half collapsed, covered in graffiti. Everyone avoids it. Maya enters anyway, flashlight shaking in her hand, dust everywhere, broken glass, rotting wood, silence. She searches for hours. Nothing. Then she notices loose floorboards, hidden, carefully hidden. Her pulse quickens. She pries them open. Beneath them, a metal compartment. Inside, nothing. Empty. Recently emptied. Her heart sinks. Someone got here first. A floorboard creaks behind her. Maya spins. A silhouette stands in the darkness. Isaiah, holding a black ledger. The ledger. The evidence. Everything. Maya stares.
You took it. You stole the journal too. You've been lying to me this whole time.
Isaiah closes his eyes, but doesn't defend himself. To Maya, that feels like confirmation. Betrayal. Complete betrayal. She turns and leaves. The next morning, Greyhaven explodes. Victor Bennett announces a citywide press conference. Hundreds attend. News crews, community leaders, church pastors, business owners. Victor stands confidently, charismatic, respected, powerful. Then he says,
Dangerous misinformation is spreading through our community.
Maya's stomach drops. He knows. Someone told him. Victor continues.
False accusations, conspiracy theories, lies designed to divide us.
Then photographs appear. Pictures of Maya, investigating, questioning, searching, meeting witnesses. The crowd murmurs. She suddenly looks obsessed, paranoid, dangerous. The city begins turning against her.
Oh my God, that's me.
She realizes the danger and the need for allies.
No, this can't be happening.
Everything collapses. Friends stop calling. Former church members avoid her. People whisper when she walks by. Even her landlord starts asking questions. The isolation becomes crushing. That night, Maya sits alone, looking at the harbor, wondering if she was wrong, wondering if she should quit, wondering if God ever wanted her to pursue this at all.
Was I wrong about everything? Should I just quit now? Did God ever want me to do this? For the first time, I feel truly defeated.
For the first time, she feels truly defeated. Near midnight, a knock. Elijah Walker, standing in the rain, holding something wrapped in cloth. He enters, says nothing, places it on the table, leaves. Maya unwraps it. The journal, burned, damaged, half destroyed. Only one surviving page remains, and there, at the lowest point of her life, the verse returns. The page is charred, only fragments remain. In all blank there is profit, but mere blank leads only to poverty. Tears fill Maya's eyes because she finally understands. For years she prayed, but she never moved. For years she hoped, but she never built. For years she waited, but she never acted. She whispers,
Labor. Talk.
The words hit differently now, not as advice, as diagnosis, as truth, as a mirror. Maya closes the notebook. For the first time in the entire story, she stops asking God to rescue her and begins asking,
Lord, what do I build now?
the next morning. For the first time in months, Maya wakes up without fear. Not because her problems are gone, not because she has answers, not because God suddenly fixed everything, but because something has changed. The verse, the realization, the understanding that she has spent years asking God to move while refusing to move herself. She sits at the kitchen table, journal open, notebook open, Bible open, then writes 3 words: build, restore, teach. For the first time in her life, she has a direction. That afternoon, Maya drives to the abandoned shipyard. Isaiah is waiting, almost as though he knew she would come. The black ledger sits on a workbench, the same ledger she believed he stole, the same ledger she believed proved his betrayal. She approaches slowly.
Tell me everything.
Isaiah nods and finally begins. The truth about Isaiah. 20 years earlier, Isaiah's grandfather worked for Samuel Bennett, Victor Bennett's father, not as a fisherman, not as a business owner, as an accountant. The accountant. The man responsible for moving assets, creating shell companies, forging ownership transfers, hiding money, destroying paper trails. Isaiah discovered the truth after his grandfather died. Hidden documents, private letters, bank records. The deeper he dug, the uglier it became. For 15 years, he quietly investigated, trying to uncover enough evidence to expose what happened. Maya asks.
But why didn't you tell anyone?
Tell who? The city worships the Bennett name. People don't like hearing that their heroes are built on stolen foundations.
Maya understands because she has just experienced it herself. Isaiah slides the ledger toward her.
Look at the last page.
Maya turns slowly, then freezes. A familiar signature. Not Samuel Bennett. Not Victor Bennett. James Brooks. Her grandfather. The room suddenly feels smaller.
What is this?
The part nobody knows.
James Brooks discovered the theft, but not immediately. By the time he realized what had happened, the cooperative was already collapsing. Families were losing businesses. Assets were disappearing. Ownership was changing hands. He fought. Hard. For years. Then he made a decision. A controversial decision. Instead of exposing everything immediately, he began documenting everything, gathering evidence, collecting records, preparing a case. But before he could finish, the warehouse burned. The evidence disappeared. And shortly afterward, James Brooks died unexpectedly. The truth died with him. Or so everyone thought. Maya's entire understanding shifts. Her grandfather wasn't merely a victim. He was a fighter, a builder, A man willing to sacrifice comfort for truth. Exactly what she has been avoiding her entire life. Meanwhile, across town, Victor Bennett receives a call. The ledger has resurfaced. Silence. For a long moment, he simply sits, staring out his office window, looking toward Brooks Harbor, toward the community his family helped build and helped destroy. The burden he has carried for 12 years suddenly feels unbearable. That evening, hospital. Ruth's condition worsens. Doctors are concerned. Maya sits beside her, holding her hand, watching the monitors, watching time slowly disappear. Then suddenly, Ruth opens her eyes, clear, focused, present, more present than she has been in months.
Maya,
Mom?
your grandfather would be proud of you. You know why people love James? He taught people how to dream bigger than survival. Don't stop.
The words settle deep inside her. The public hearing. 3 days later, the largest crowd Greyhaven has seen in decades gathers inside the Civic Center. Every seat filled, every aisle crowded, every camera rolling. Church leaders, business owners, former fishermen, students, grandparents, journalists. The entire city is watching. At the front sits Victor Bennett, calm, composed, but exhausted. Years of hidden truth finally catching up. Victor speaks first. He details the good his family has done. Scholarships, schools, community programs, youth initiatives, food banks, housing support. Everything is true. Nobody can deny it. Then Maya stands. The room falls silent. She doesn't begin with accusations. She begins with photographs. Old photographs. Families standing beside boats they owned, businesses they built, dreams they pursued. Then she tells the story of Brooks Harbor, the version many have forgotten, the version many never knew. A community built on ownership, not dependency. Stewardship, not survival. Vision, not fear. The audience becomes completely silent. Then comes the ledger. Page after page appears on the giant screen. Transactions, forged transfers, property records, false ownership claims, shell companies. The evidence is overwhelming. Gasps fill the room. People cry. Others sit frozen. Years of buried truth surfacing at once. Then something unexpected happens. Victor Bennett stands and does not deny it. The room becomes completely silent. Victor lowers his head.
My father did it. I learned the truth 12 years ago. I told myself I was protecting the city, but really I was protecting my life.
Shock. Real shock. Not outrage. Shock. Because nobody expected confession. The room sits motionless. Then Victor does something nobody expects. He signs everything over. Properties, harbor assets, commercial buildings, unused warehouses, investment accounts, millions of dollars, all returned to a newly established community trust named after James Brooks. The crowd cannot believe what they are witnessing. Months later, Greyhaven begins changing. Storefronts reopen. Young entrepreneurs launch businesses. Families buy property. New seafood companies emerge. Shipping contracts return. Ownership returns. Hope returns. Not through charity, through opportunity, through stewardship, through labor. The James Brooks Leadership Institute. A year later, the old cooperative headquarters has been restored, beautifully renovated. The sign above the entrance reads, James Brooks Leadership Institute. Its mission? Entrepreneurship, financial literacy, business ownership, stewardship, leadership, faith-driven action. Inside, Maya teaches the very things she once avoided, the very things she once feared. The transformation is complete. Ruth's final day. Sunlight fills her hospital room. Outside, fishing boats move across the harbor, just like they once did decades ago. Ruth watches quietly. A small smile forms.
They're sailing again.
Yes, Mom.
James would be proud.
Moments later, she quietly enters eternity, watching the restoration she thought she would never see. Harbor Day Festival 1 year later. Thousands gather. Music, food, families, businesses, celebration. Near the center of Brooks Harbor stands a monument, dedicated to the builders who came before. At the base is engraved a verse, the verse that changed everything. Maya steps forward. Children surround her. Business owners, students, families, former fishermen, church members, an entire community. And Maya reads,
Proverbs 14:23. In all labor there is profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty.
The crowd joins her, repeating every word. Together. This time, the verse feels completely different. Not advice, experience. Not theory, testimony. Not information, transformation. Sunset. Maya walks toward the lighthouse, the same lighthouse where everything began. She finds it empty. No Elijah. No sign of him. Only an old lantern and a notebook. She opens the final page, a handwritten message from James Brooks. Faith was never meant to anchor you to the shore. Faith was meant to help you sail. Maya smiles, then looks toward Brooks Harbor. Boats moving, businesses growing, children dreaming, families building. An entire community moving forward. The lighthouse beam sweeps across the ocean one final time. Learn the verse. Proverbs 14:23. In all labor there is profit, but mere talk leads only to poverty. Meaning in this story, Maya learned that faith without action can become an excuse for staying comfortable. God often answers prayers through opportunities, responsibility, discipline, and courage. Prayer should guide movement, not replace it.